We're about to go green for race 2 at the Nurburgring Grand Prix circuit. And there's the green flag, and Trumpets leads the field away. And immediately Alex Van Gien is making a challenge for second place as he's trying to get around the outside of Shane Jordan, but he can't make it stick just about, although he's trying it round the outside, gets pushed out a little bit wide. There's Edward Shelley making a move on Gregory Leader into turn 2 as well. Tim Ellis has lost out to Adam Rosales as well, but looks like it's status quo has been held at the front of the field.
That's right, and further back, so Harper got through very cleanly. Hatton got forced out onto the apron and has lost a number of places in that first turn. He's actually nearly right at the back of the grid, so that's a bit of a disastrous start for him. Not the start he needed at all. Got Tim Ellis trying to make a move on Adam Rosales into turn 5, but he can't find a way through. So far, Trumpets is holding the lead ahead of Shane Jordan, but Jordan's just gone out wide on the exit of turn 6, and this could be the opportunity for Alex Van Gien to take second place away from him. He's got the inside line into the Dunlop hairpin, and he goes through. It's a missed Apex Crew 1-2, Chris. That's awesome stuff. Long may that continue. As I said, my money is on Van Gien. Hopefully he can chase down the Trumpets and get him. Well, there's two very quick guys behind them. Gregory Leader, don't forget, he won the first of the two rescue races. And Van Gien going for the lead on the way into turn 10, and he goes through. Trumpets goes up wide, and Shane Jordan goes through, and Gregory Leader goes for a spin. Commentator's curse there. That didn't take very long at all. I think Leader is actually out of the race. I saw him on the grass, and he's gone. I think he's back to the pits. Well, I was just talking him up as a reverse grid winner at Okayama, and it looks like now the honours is going to go to Edward Shelley as he's making a move up the inside of Trumpets down at the chicane. We have a great little battle developing at the back between Ficacci and Henny and Derwitsberger. So the guys who are right at the front, they're still trying to wend their way through, and even behind them is Hatton now. So yeah, it really was a bad start for him. And they're side by side through the final corner. So there's cars everywhere. Despite his injury, at the end of lap 1, Alex Van Gien leads by 1.3 seconds over Shane Jordan. But for how much longer? Because here comes Edward Shelley pouncing up the inside of turn 1. And can he get it stopped? Just about, but Shane Jordan's going to try and come back around the outside. But it's difficult to make that move around the outside of turn 2. So Edward Shelley now into second place, and he's going to set his sights on Van Gien. Trumpets still holding 4th place ahead of the debutant Andy Flagg. Tim Ellis right up in there as well, and championship leader Sam Harper holding 7th place. He's just picked up Adam Rosales. That's it. And looking Spanners, he's made up one placer up to P11. He's right on the tail of John Lang, but he's having under a lot of pressure from Danny Henny, who's ripping through the field now to P13. He's got a run on Spanners down into the hairpin. Yeah, as Andy Flagg makes his move as well. Oh, and Trumpets has been spun round by Tim Ellis down at the Dunlop hairpin. Andy Flagg made a move up the inside of him, and Tim Ellis tried to follow him through and ended up pitching Trumpets round, who's now stranded on that outside curve. Poor Trumpets, that's a disaster. He unfortunately often seems to be the victim of a good old punt, and yeah, he's dropped right to the back of the field. That's such a shame. So the top three really breaking away after that bit of contact, but I imagine Tim Ellis is going to try and close down the field as well and try and pull away from Andy Flagg. Sam Harper is now in 6th place. Looks like he'll try and make a few moves as well. Just behind them, we've got Colin Ward leading a gaggle of cars. That includes race 1 winner Danny Henny just behind John Lang. And Spanners Ready right up in there as well. And that also involves Derwitsberger and David Hatton as well. So that's one to keep an eye on throughout the race, Chris. Yeah, they're and at the front of those, Colin Ward's going defensive. He's got Lang sniffing all over the back of him. He's gone to the outside. Watch out for Henny behind, though, because he might even try up the inside of the two of them. Just as Sam Harper, once again, having to go defensive on Adam Rosales. Up at the front of the field, though, I think we're about to see a change to the lead. That's Edward Shelley. He's all over the back of Alex Van Gien, who's gone wide out of turn 3, and Shelley's going to have the better run out of turn 4, surely, and is very nearly had the overlap on him, and there'll be no way through for him at turn 5, though, I'm sure. Yeah, Van Gien was very intelligent there. He just checked up at the apex, which meant that he couldn't get the switch back, and that made him have to back out. So he's kept the lead, but he's under a lot of pressure coming to the hairpin. He's going to have to go defensive on this one. and Shelley goes to the outside.
Yeah, it's a brave man who tries it around the outside of the Dunlop hairpin. If he's smart about this, he should get a mega run back up the hill towards the Schumacher S. Don't think we've seen cars side by side through there.
I think it's even braver man who goes side by side through there. What he's got to do is make sure he keeps tucked right up into the rear wing, see if he can make a lunge onto the inside.
He'll be setting him up, I think, through turns 10 and 11, and he'll have a great run down that back straight towards the chicane. And again, Van Gien having to go tight on the way into 11, and Shelley is making his move. He's pulled out of the slipstream.
Yeah, going defensive there compromises exit, so Van Gien now has to stick to the inside line, see if he can just brake as late as he can, see if he can block the entrance again.
So Shelley making a move around the outside of the chicane, tries not to brave it out around the outside there, and Van Gien holds on for another lap.
We've got Shane Jordan in third, who is getting a grandstand view of this battle. He's hoping that these two come together. He's going to be ready to pounce. He's right tucked up behind.
Just behind
Shelley
them,
again getting a run.
Just behind them, there is a monumental battle going on between Tim Ellis and Andy Flagg over fourth place. But up at the front of the field, once again, Shelley and Van Gien side by side. And Shelley is braked deep this time, but Van Gien back up the inside, locking up, and he just hangs on. Oh, Tim Ellis going way off at the back of the shot there. But I think he's not been able to not lose a place. Shelley trying to go around the outside of Van Gien at turn 2. Will he try it at turn 3 as well? No, tucks back in. Got to be careful because Shane Jordan is waiting to pounce on these guys if either of them make a mistake.
This is an absolutely stunning defence from Van Gien. Wonderful racecraft here. Again, going defensive. This is slowing the two of them right up, really bunching the field.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ellis, despite that mistake, he's not really losing any time to these guys, is he? There's a really good lead battle going on. Henny, meanwhile, making his way through the pack, just tried a move on Sam Harper into turn 6, but the championship challenger has been able to hold on to that position for now. Shelley making a move down the inside at the Dunlop hairpin. Van Gien forced to give him some space. Still, though, he's able to hang on just about. He'll have the inside line for the Schumacher S, and Shelley will be forced to tuck back into his slipstream.
And watch for Jordan, because he's got a run on these two, because they both had to check through there. Where's he going to go? He's going to go to the outside.
But Van Gien going defensive. Shelley, oh, he's trying to take an even tighter line through there. And again, Shane Jordan had a little sniff up the inside there, but there wasn't a way through. So back onto the back straight. We're over the halfway mark in this race now. And I'll tell you what, there was only 0.6 of a second covering that top 3. I think it's going to be the same margin between the top 4 as Shelley's almost on the grass. But this time he has found the inside line on the way into the chicane. Van Gien, though, outbrakes him and goes sailing around the outside. Shelley, though, with the much better run out of the chicane, and he'll have the line for the inside corner. Van Gien is not going to make this easy on him, though. He's still trying to brave it out, and it is still side by side for the lead of the race. And Van Gien still is hanging on.
I cannot believe this. This is such a tremendous defence. He's gone to the inside again.
Yeah,
so it's a bit bumpy and a bit dusty on there. Can he get his braking right?
Shane had to take evasive action, trying to get around there. Shelley's braved it out around the outside. This time he's got the line into 2. And can he make this one work for him? He's been on the outside for the previous couple of laps. Still, Van Gien will not give up on it. And I think this time Shelley's got it through. Finally, after 4 laps of various attempts, finally takes the lead of the race. And Van Gien's got to be careful now, because here comes Shane Jordan having a look on the way into turn 5.
Yeah, it was just too long a way around the outside there. You just can't take it. Oh, there's a bit of a couple of lockups there from Shelley and Van Gien. Neither went too wide, so they're okay. You've got Tim Ellis now looking to make a move on. Jordan just behind as well. Yeah,
watch out for him. He's, I think he's the quickest of these bunch at the moment. He was the only guy who did sub 2 minutes last time around, although they were racing quite heavily. So we'll keep an eye out on them. Still, Danny Henny has not been able to find a way past Sam Harper. They're battling over 5th place. Along with John Lang as well. Alex Drilsma, by the way, is still in the top 10. He's just been passed by David Hatton. And Spanner's also still holding a top 10 position. So the debutant, Drilsma, still continuing to impress on his maiden outing. I think Shane Jordan might have just made a slight mistake in this battle for 3rd place on the exit of turn 11. And here comes Tim Ellis, ever the opportunist, and gets up the inside towards the chicane. And I'll tell you what, Van Gien is not done. He is not letting Shelley go. Shelley had to go defensive into that chicane. And so I don't think this is done. He's gone wide on the exit of the final corner as well, and that could be a costly error. Moves straight over to that right-hand side, because here comes Alex Van Gien with the momentum, and once again, it's side-by-side for the lead of the race between Shelley and Van Gien. Starting lap 6 of 8, Shelley with the line, he's able to outbrake, although Van Gien sailing around the outside with a lock-up though, and he can't find a way through on this occasion. And all this working to the advantage of Tim Ellis, who's really closing in on these guys now. I'll tell you what, don't count out Henny as well. He's in this pack. This pack of cars, just it hasn't broken up since the start of the race. And he is right in there. He's in 5th place at the moment from 20th on the grid after winning race 1. And I'll tell you what, it's not too... the gap's not too big between the two championship contenders as well. Sam Harper only has 1 car between him and David Hatton, and they're only about a second apart. Henny now making his move on Shane Jordan and into 4th place. Oh, and Van Gien, he's locked up into the Dunlop hairpin, and that's the way through for Tim Ellis. Although Van Gien, he's going to be stubborn about this one, as he has been all race, and holds the line through the Schumacher S, but Ellis is able to find a way through on the outside. Fantastic manoeuvre.
And as that happens, also you've got Henny, who's just overtaken Jordan as well. So he's going to be on the back of Van Gien in no time. I don't think he's got quite enough to catch Shelley, who's got a bit of a gap at the front though, but he could be looking at a podium slot by the end of the race.
Two laps to go after this one. All this has just given Shelley a little bit of breathing space over Ellis.
And a bit further back, you've got 3 wide. You've actually got the championship leaders, Hatton and Harper, right next to each other, and Hatton has got Harper and Lang in the same corner.
Both cars, so another fantastic move by David Hatton. He took 3 cars into that corner in race 1. He's taken another 2 on this occasion. And once again, it looks like David Hatton is going to extend his championship lead after another fantastic move. But he's not done yet. John Lang trying to come back at him down the pit straight.
Yeah, Hatton going super defensive. He's actually a little bit behind on the way in. He's going to have to brake really late.
Sorry to cut over you there, but Alex Van Gien has stormed back up the inside of Tim Ellis, all lucked up on the way into turn 1, but he's reclaimed 2nd place. So Ellis has got it all to do again to get back up in there, and Henny is right on the back of these guys. So it looks like 3 for 2nd place at the moment. And just behind them as well, still Lang and Hatton are side by side. Lang with the inside line on the way into turn 5 this time. He reclaims the position, although Hatton's still trying to brave it out in there, but Lang retakes him. That's a fantastic squabble involving the championship challengers, and Henny trying to go around the outside of the Dunlop hairpin. Has he made that one work? How did he do that?
Oh, that was absolutely incredible. And he's right tucked up behind Van Gien as well. So he could be looking at 2nd place here if he plays his cards right. He's gone to the inside. Van Gien, we're going very defensive.
That's tight between those two. But Henny has been able to find the inside line for turn 10. Van Gien, though, he's still got the line. They're still side by side as they come back onto the straight. But Henny is... Oh, God, there was a bit of a chop there from Henny. But he has got it through and into 2nd place, although I don't think Van Gien's done with this one just yet. He has just point-blank refused to give up a position all race, hasn't he?
And once he's done it again.
Oh, fantastic. Late braking manoeuvre, had to hop over the curb. And that's really, that's cost him his exit, because Henny coming back up the inside into the final corner. Matt, he has just been brilliantly defending his positions. So one last lap then for Edward Shelley. He's got a gap of 2.5 seconds. So it looks like he is going to be taking his 2nd victory of the season, but it is on for 2nd place as Ellis gets up the inside. Henny goes deep, and so does Ellis, trying to get past Van Gien. But it is the number 14 green car that has picked his way into that 3rd place spot. Or has he? Because Van Gien fancies another run. Oh, it was so tight on the way into turn 3. But Ellis has taken that 3rd place spot. Can he get after Henny for 2nd place?
I think Jordan fancies a bit of the action as well. He's sniffing right at the back of Van Gien. This is an epic battle. There's 4 cars going for 2nd place here. Big
twitch from Jordan on the way into turn 5. That might have just cost him his place in this battle. Henny, meanwhile, locking his brakes on the way into turn 6, and that might have just given Ellis the hope that he can still get second place in this race. Coming out of the Dunlop hairpin, it's the Slipstreaming Festival all the way back up to the top of the hill, Chris.
Yeah, just to give you an update further back, we had Colin Ward and his rival Spanners. They were right together until Ward just shoved it up the inside past Drillsma into the hairpin. So now there's a car between the two of them. Brilliant battle on these last laps.
Those two have been just hammer and tongs all season long. Can't separate them. So back onto the back straight for one final time, and it looks like Henny has got this one covered. There's a nice gap between him and Ellis, and Van Gien not in a position to attack either. So unless there's a mistake somewhere from one of these guys, it looks like it's going to be Henny and Ellis joining Edward Shelley on the podium as that number 33 car makes his way round the final corner, and he claims his second victory of the season. And a monumental drive from Danny Henny, 20th up to second place, and Tim Ellis completes the podium. Alex Van Gien, a sterling drive into fourth place with Shane Jordan in fifth place. David Hatton in sixth place, and he does outscore Harper by 1 point. They both beat John Lang to the line there. Alex Drillsma, the debutant, another top 10 finish. What a day he is having. And Colin Ward just pipped Spanners to that final top 10 spot.
And I think we need to go to Spanners, because Spanners, on that last corner, you looked like you were going to have a bit of a lunge, but thought better of it. That was a brilliant battle in that last lap.
Are you talking to me there, Chris?
Sorry, Spanners. Yes, I was.
Yes,
I was saying.
Sorry, I missed the beginning. I was busy chatting with Colin, because the whole time we were communicating when was the battle going to be on, when was it going to be off. It was definitely on at the end. But Drillsma in front, I mean, he's got incredible pace, but he just kept locking up and making little mistakes. And then me and Colin were almost like, ooh, we don't need this. We'd rather be gone with it.
So that is race 2 done. We are going to go to another top 20 reverse grid. And on pole position for that one will be Conor Meyer with Gary Thomas on the front row.